So most people think that AI workflow is just prompting. They're not. Prompting is only one layer of the full workflow. The real value for product managers comes from designing the whole workflow. You manage how the information is flowing from one system to other, how the context is managed, how outputs are, and how decisions actually get made. That is what encompasses the full workflow. I'm going to walk you guys through end to end how the workflow works, how the workflow is designed using AI. If you guys don't know me, my name is Nazuk Jain and I'm a product leader in tech. Let's go. So, step number one in a workflow system, the workflow is designed to produce outcomes. Without the outcome, the workflow is kind of handicapped on its own. It doesn't serve any purpose, it doesn't have any value. So, step one in a workflow is context management. This is the foundation of the workflow. Before AI can generate anything useful, it needs a clean, organized context. And let's say if we take an example of summarizing client feedback, the feedback is going to live across emails. It's going to live across Slack messages or support tickets or call transcripts, CRM notes, meeting recordings, right? So you have all of these assets that is housing the information, the context. So the first job in the workflow is that you're going to decide where does this information come from. This, by the way, is also a fundamental kind of what I'm explaining. It's kind of a foundation of a RAG system as well. But let's keep going. So the first job is deciding where is this information coming from? How is it collected? How is it organized? And before AI sees it, is very much the formula garbage in, garbage out applies here. So this step is all about information architecture. So example tools could be you are housing your information in Notion, let's say, or you have a Google Drive of all of this information, or HubSpot, Zendesk. Like you can have multiple tools that has this information. Maybe you have an Asana table or Airtable, any of these tools. So product manager's work is going to be thinking, what does AI need to produce this useful insight? Not just prompting, what AI is going to need. Just what prompt should I write? Now, step two is the prompting layer. This is where you're going to use your LLM. This is where you design what AI should do and what output format matters. For example, if you say summarize recurring complaints, feature requests, sentiment trends, churn risk from this feedback, a good prompt is going to create that clarity. Prompting alone is not a workflow design because the quality of the prompting depends on the quality of your context, the structure of the data, and the clarity of the business goal. This is why in this time now, I think the prompt engineering is overrated and more important skill is operational thinking or workflow thinking. Third step is AI processing. This is where the model actually works. AI reads hundreds of feedback entries, detects patterns, clusters similar complaints, identifies emotional sentiment, and surfaces recurring themes. This step transforms an unstructured chaos into a structural intelligence. And this is exactly where your workflow is going to become really, really powerful because humans are rather slow at pattern recognition across massive data sets. AI, on the other hand, is really good at it. But you have to remember, AI is probabilistic. It predicts useful outputs, but it cannot guarantee truth. AI hallucinates, it can lie very, very confidently. And this is exactly why my next step, because this is where you need human input. Step number 4 is output generation. Now the workflow is producing something tangible, actionable, not just text. The outputs should really help the team make the decision. For example, if your workflow may generate top customer complaints, most requested features, customers at churn risk, maybe weekly sentiment summaries or executive summary reports, or even product and feature recommendations. Now, this is exactly where many teams and product managers fail because they don't know how and what they're going to use these output for. Outputs standalone are not that useful. They are on their own kind of like informational, like okay, I have all this information. What do I do with this information? A workflow should help reduce the decision-making friction. It should help somebody make a decision faster. It should help somebody act faster. Next step is review and analyze. This is your human judgment layer. Your PM, your customer experience lead, your operations manager, your analyst, your data analyst, anybody or all of them can review the outputs that have been generated. And in fact, multiple team members should review that information because AI can hallucinate. AI can just make up facts. And so this human layer should validate the information if it is accurate, if it is useful, and does this align with the business reality? Does it align with what you're trying to achieve from product standpoint or from the business standpoint? The best workflows designed today are not fully autonomous. There is a human in the loop process, or we call it HITL, and that's what makes it rather more reliable. The last step in the system is iterate, action, and next steps. This is your final layer and final most important layer because all of these workflows that you put in place, they should over time improve. So once the insights are in and the teams have been able to absorb the output, then from there on, let's say if you prioritize your roadmap decisions, improved onboarding, maybe responded to customer pain points, adjusted your messaging, or escalated risk, or even refined your operations, then after that point, the workflow is supposed to evolve more. Like it is wherever you're seeing the gaps in terms of maybe something wasn't right or some sort of output wasn't accurate, that's where you go and fix that system. Maybe you need to improve your prompt. Maybe you need more data sources. Maybe you need to add sentiment scoring, or maybe you need to automate certain sections, let's say categorization. Good workflow is going to compound, and that is your real power. I hope this video has been helpful. Please comment below on what topics I should make a video on next, and I'll see you in my next video.